and I'm sure you've told your followers going the week forward. So we can go
Yep.
live now and sort of greet people and let them know this is what we're doing. We're just getting set up. It's our first inaugural night. How's it and
Yep.
what's up?
We're live. We are
How's it and what's
live with
up?
Savage Worlds.
Hey.
What's good, everyone?
There's nobody there yet, but
That's fine.
They're gonna get there, and this
The
recording will live
enthusiasm is
forever.
there.
Exactly.
I'm opening up Fantasy Worlds.
We're supporting your stream. We're the hype guys, Icy Macaw. That's what it
there you
is.
go. There you go. I like it.
I'm excited.
Well, good. Good. So Kintaro, my first question is, do you have Slash's character sheet from last game?
I do. Give me like 2 seconds to get through this screen with
Sure. So if you
fantasy.
want to upload that file to the Discord chat, then we can work on creating the Savage Worlds Rifts version of that character.
Alright. Which said Savage Worlds Roleplay Rats you want me to put it in?
Yep.
Yep.
Too
And the
easy.
role-playing rats and the RPG group are permission bound, so only the people I've given permissions to be in there, which is us, and I haven't done Leo yet because he hasn't joined the server, so I can't give him that.
Hey, Kintaro, we made the cut.
Sweet.
This time. I can always revoke it though.
Yo,
Hold up.
hold your horses now.
I feel attacked.
No, not attacked. Just, letting you know what reality is.
Oh goodness. It's
Hold
a
on.
Monday. The last thing I need is a reality check.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Oh
And
man.
the other thing
Alright.
for you, Kintaro, is if you go into the role-playing rats and I put a link in there that'll say w.craig.horse. If you
Yeah.
click that, it'll open a dedicated web app for recording to the audio. Although I think you're
Sweet.
listening to my stream.
No, I
And
don't think I have it up.
huh, that's
Somebody's
weird. I
got it.
gotta yeah,
I heard that echo too.
okay, so that wasn't just me.
That
And
was
what it'll
me.
do
I
is
opened Twitch on my phone.
okay.
Here's
What it'll
slash PDF.
Good.
I think.
Yep.
Oh wait, I gotta hit enter. There.
Hey, asking for forks.
Okay.
Oh, there's slash. Yeah, so when you open that web app, that'll record. So Craig will record Discord audio as well as audio coming directly from your computer. So it'll be a cleaner and more direct source because you
Nice,
won't have the
nice.
processing that Discord does on it. So, and it'll do both.
What's the
So
username I should use?
I would do web app, Kintaro web app or whatever, just something so when I open it up, I know that that's the web app version.
Oof. I didn't do that. I just did 5Zef. My apologies.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. How are you tonight,
You're
Forks?
good.
Okay. Allow. Wants to use your microphone. Allow.
Yep, and then
Okay,
I would.
that should have me going.
I
Yeah,
can't.
it sees me.
Yeah, I can't see it. Just make sure it's the voice mod output, not your direct your microphone, because you want the output coming from your voice mod.
How do I?
So when you mouse over in the upper right, there's kind of a little cog in the web app, and then there's settings,
I see it.
and then you can go to settings and just make sure mine says, just for
Yeah, mine's my
yours,
Razer mic. That's not what I need at all.
it'll say microphone, and then it says voice mod virtual.
virtual audio. Yeah.
Yep,
Got it.
and then it
That
should
is
look
what
cleaner.
it is now.
Okay, perfect.
Sweet.
Perfect.
So, oh yeah, it says it's recording, but it's
Mhm.
got zero. It's got nothing on the timer.
Yep.
Does that mean it's
It-
recording or okay?
It is. It's just fine. It just doesn't say anything. I don't know why. So
Okay, that's cool.
Yep. We ran that gamut early on.
and hey, Forks, we're just
So
kind of doing some
Good to know.
session 0 stuff and getting
Yeah,
this
All
set
right.
up for the first time, and
now.
this will be kind of our
Perfect,
Monday
man.
thing we're gonna do in
Perfect.
RPG
So
for
we're gonna
Savage
start
Worlds
off
Rifts.
with shifting your character slash from Palladium Rifts to Savage World Rifts.
Yeah,
So
that's kind of what I was thinking.
yeah, sure. No, that's fine. That's a great place for us to start and for the stream to start, I think, because we may or may not have people who played Palladium in the past. And I have been a purist, even though Savage Worlds has been out for a little while now, a couple of years.
Do you want me to
So
share my screen? I
Couple?
can share my character sheet so you guys can see it while we're doing it.
no, I pulled up your PDF. If you have the Savage Worlds character sheet up, that'll be enough.
No, I don't. I have the slash PDF up.
You
Once,
monster.
well,
We don't.
yeah, once we get your
Yeah.
character into Savage Worlds, when anything's going on or inside Fantasy Grounds, I can pull your character up and show it off on stream and stuff. So
okay,
Yeah.
let me get Fantasy Worlds up. And I had that coming up. It was doing something. Okay, completed.
That's actually something I haven't encountered yet, Icy.
Hmm.
Does he need to open Fantasy Grounds to create his character within Fantasy Grounds or within my server? No, right? He can just do that.
he's gonna need to do it in your server. And the reason for that is he doesn't own the books on his side. I do.
Okay.
So
Okay. Cool.
if you and like that, what I've done in the past is left mine open, and that way, for my other group where I own all the books on my Fantasy Grounds for D&D, I'm just like, hey, I'll
Let
have
me
it open an
create it.
hour ahead of the session or whatever. So if you guys need to do anything, you can connect up and do stuff. So
Need to register my Fantasy Worlds.
Fantasy Grounds.
Fantasy Grounds, yes.
Yeah. Fantasy Worlds is definitely different.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds suspiciously like something out of Japan. That's all I'll say.
Oh boy.
Indeed. I have
But
a feeling I know what that place might look like.
but I'll tell you, Icy, I'm definitely going to buy the Ultimate license, just like you got. So I don't know if that just gives people access to my games or to my books, like you were saying. You leave it open an hour before. Is that the Ultimate license?
The Ultimate license, really all that does is, and at this point, all it would do is make it so Leo doesn't need to buy it because he can download the demo version and connect up and play, which is why I bought it, because I had a bunch of people that I didn't want them to buy the game, because then they can just
Sure.
download Fantasy Grounds, run the demo version, connect up and play as many as you want. So
Okay. Okay. So what I did was I paid it forward. So I actually got on Steam Leo or Armageddillo the gift. So I did Fantasy Grounds and the Savage Worlds Rifts books.
okay. Then you don't need the
So
Ultimate version unless you're planning on running stuff with people who don't own Fantasy Grounds.
no, we can push that out, because that's the end game for us, right? Kafka.
So I wouldn't worry about buying it right now if everybody owns a copy of it. So
Yeah,
because
perfect. Then we're
that's
set.
all it does. That's all it does.
Okay. Okay, great. Great. Okay. So I'm looking at the Merc Soldier, which is what you were playing in Palladium Rifts there, Kintaro. This is, kind of the quintessential Rifts character, I'll go so far as to say. And for any listeners, as Kintaro is picking up, Rifts is 300 years in the future and 300 years in the future from that. But what happened at that midpoint between the two 300s is essentially a nuclear fallout, and the death of millions of people created a magical tear in time and space, and that spawned more and more and more. And so what that generated is what we know now 600 years in the future as Rift's Earth. So we are playing a game that comes after the fallout. This is post apocalyptic. This is the come up from the uh, dark ages of the post apocalypse. So the Mercenary Soldier is kind of the quintessential Rift's character. You are a gun bunny. You are a person who knows their way around combat armor, power armor, guns, firearms, ranged combat, close combat, CQB. This is you are the quintessential combat fighter, sci-fi future war fighter, whatever you want to term it. And so Kintaro, your character Slash from the previous game, was a mercenary soldier with a heavy weapons MOS. So we've coming into the Savage Worlds realm from Palladium, we've crushed the MOS and that sort of delineation, or the Paragon paths. If you're a D&D 5e player, you are a merc soldier. Not even
Okay.
mercenary soldier. They've just written you in as merc soldier. Page 28, that's it. Merc soldier. So you're a
Damn.
nickname. You're a nickname from here on out, bud.
Yeah, Zach, we're trying out some of the
So this
Damn.
is
icons. But you
yeah,
can see them
right.
kind of jump. We're doing that.
It's going
We're
to be a pretty
thinking about
sharp
what we want to do
transition,
there.
because this
But thank you for
sort of
stopping by,
Palladium
as well
character
as
sheet
Forks.
that you
Thanks for
sent
stopping
over
by,
to us,
guys.
to the players here, is really just your framework for who Slash was, and this is going to give us the jump for who Slash will become in Savage Worlds. So
Got it.
again, for people joining the stream, Riffs has been around since the 80s, 1980s, and Palladium Riffs. Palladium is the publisher, Riffs is the game. Riffs was famously known as the everything and the kitchen sink game. So, Dungeons and Dragons was your, again, Dungeons and Dragons high fantasy, from the 80s moving forwards into AD&D, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, and moving up to D&D 3.5. So Riffs is the sci-fi RPG role playing game, tabletop paper and pencil role playing game, and it was the everything in the kitchen sink. So we're moving from the 1980s Riffs, everything in the kitchen sink, Riffs Ultimate Edition, if we want to be technical, which was released in the 2000s, into Savage Worlds, which came out recently. What would you say, Icy? I think Savage Worlds, the system, is probably 6 years old, give or take.
Yes,
And
somewhere around
then
there. Yeah.
yeah, and then Rifts itself is 2 or 3 years old. It was a pretty recent addition to the Savage Worlds
Mm-hmm.
pantheon.
Yeah, and Savage Worlds is the way I look at it is it's kind of like a new generation GURPS.
Sure. Yeah, I totally second that. I haven't myself played GURPS. 100% heard about it for the last, 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Savage Worlds definitely seems like the latest iteration of how can we take everything and make it work together.
Yes.
Yeah. They've done a good job, I think.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Yeah. So that's my introductory monologue as the supervillain, i.e., game master. Um,
Oh, I thought you
Icy,
were
I
gonna
think
say
you've been
fives.
well, yeah. 5's game master slash supervillain. I mean, the game master and supervillain, it's synonymous. But um, Icy, can you tell us a little bit about your experience with Fantasy Grounds? Because I think Kintaro and I are completely brand new to this layout. So Savage Worlds aside, are as an RPG, what do you think about Fantasy Grounds, and what can we expect and the listeners expect going forward?
Also, how
Fantasy
do I get into your thing? Sorry.
Fantasy Grounds is a virtual tabletop for playing typically tabletop RPGs on. And inside of it, as everyone can see, kind of has all sorts of fun stuff. So automated rolls. So if I want to roll something, it can roll the dice for me and tell what happens and automate that, and kind of character abilities and all that type of stuff that is typically a little harder. So for example, in Savage Worlds, you have aces, which are exploding dice. So for example, if you've never played with exploding dice, if you roll, for example, on a d6, if you roll a 6 on a d6, you roll the dice again and add whatever that next result is on the first d6. And again, if it rolls a 6 again, that explodes again. So you can get basically an infinite number, technically. But for example, you could roll a 6 and a 6 and a 6 and then a 4, and you'd get a 22. So, and it does that automatically for you. So that's kind of what Fantasy Grounds does. Is it's a way to keep everything together and keep track of stuff in the game, as well as roll dice and just makes it a lot easier to do stuff like this.
Sure. That makes sense. I'm all about it. I think
then-
that Fantasy Grounds is far and away my favorite, digital RPG interface.
Yep. And then for you, Kintaro, if you go to the Roleplaying Rats chat, scroll up a little bit, you'll see a Fantasy Grounds kind of window. If you go to join campaign, you can type in the game master of 5's F and hit enter, and it should show it. And then he put the password in there. Yep, it's in the picture as the password. Just when it asks for your password, type that in.
Sounds good. I see it right now.
Perfect.
And we should be able to see that. One of the other fun things that we can do too, especially for you fives, is we can set up languages. So if someone is talking to us in a different language, you can actually select that language, type it in there, and it'll look garbled to us unless our characters have the languages learned.
Okay. Now, that's a little piece of that's a little piece of fantasy grounds that I find completely surprising and completely pleasurable. That is so amazing. When I first started learning fantasy grounds, this was first introduced to me by Icy approximately 30 days ago. When I first started learning it, I the first sentences out of the YouTube video were the more time you spend, the more you're going to learn. And this is the first time I've heard about this feature. Super stoked. That's going to be great.
It's fun. It's fun to do. I've done that in my other campaigns, and like the kobold all of a sudden starts screaming at people, and I'm like, I just type it in there, and anybody who can read it, and everybody's like, we can't read this at all. You don't understand them.
That's fantastic. That means we're doing it right.
So what you just sent me, Kintaro, it looks like it's not activated for some reason. Did you run it from, where is it? Oh, how do you do that? Because it should have linked to your Fantasy Grounds one.
Hang on, I'm trying to start it up again.
Yeah, let me back out here and see if I can see where it needs to go. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna just
There it
mention
goes.
to
Now it has a password option.
mention to everyone in Twitch here that this is the first time many of us are using Fantasy Grounds. That is 2 out of the 3.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time that 3 out of 3 are using Savage Worlds Rifts. So this is session 0. Look at the stream title. We're here to have a good time, and hopefully you have a good time along with us, but please bear with. Session 0 is always painful. If you've never played an RPG before, session 0 is always beer, pretzels, creating characters, figuring out how people can work together and what we're actually going to do here.
It's amateur hour,
Still not
just like
letting me
usual.
in.
It's saying, so go to settings.
Let me see. Where's
There's buttons on the left there based on your screenshot. The kind of toward the bottom is settings.
Yeah, I see them.
Okay, and then it should have a username and password for that it made you go to Fantasy Grounds to get.
Yep. See the
So
license
whatever.
key. All right, I put that in. That. Wish I could get this Steam thing. Oh, shift tab.
The other thing, Fives, is we gotta do some theme updating on Fantasy Grounds for you because the text is white on my side, so it's a tad hard to read.
Okay. What? Now it should let me join.
Yeah, because it's saying the maximum amount of demo users was hit, which means it's accepting your password. You're connecting to Five's instance. It's just he doesn't have an ultimate edition, so
I put the key in though. It had me put the key in again.
yeah, go to settings and you have to use you created an account on Fantasy Grounds. You have to use that username and password in the settings.
Got it. All right, now it's getting the file list. It's connecting now.
Yep. There
One
you go.
step closer to making this work.
Eh.
Like you said, that's what session 0 is all about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And like that, there's still some I've noticed some because Fantasy Grounds uses rule sets, we have to abide by those rule sets, and one of them is a little clunky with armor I have noticed on my character, so I can show people how to deal with that as needed.
Sounds good.
That's just part of the trial. You know, where would our world be without session zeros?
Hidden.
Right into session 1, we'd be playing with, okay, well, you're just defaulting to D6s for everything. Good luck.
Oh my god,
Ouch.
no, we're gonna do that. Guys, we're gonna do that. This is gonna be amazing.
I mean, well, D6 is actually really good. By default, skills and everything roll D4.
Mhm.
So a D6 is actually kind of above. D6 is like average human, and actually most of my stuff, a few things I've got up to a D8, but I've got D4s all over the place as well as some D6s. So that would be a good
Crap.
average fun. So that's actually what I would put for no character made. All right, let's roll with it, especially for session 1.
Yeah.
Am I gonna have to create a character here?
Yeah, I'm Betty.
Oh man.
That's what we're here for today. You're creating a character right now.
Ooh. All right. Well, I got. Oh wow. Yeah, it's white and it's really hard to see.
Yeah, no pressure, but this is you are our stream entertainment. Your character creation is what is the stream entertainment for tonight, not actually an adventure.
Oh man.
I'm looking at the theme options here, Icy, and I think I would have to restart the client to get the theme to change.
It's possible. That's why I said we'll work on it later. So
Sure. We can roll with it for now.
Yep, that's what I figured.
Yeah. All right. Kintaro, where are you at, man?
Character selection, archetypes. What do I need to do?
Well,
Really
you need to find yourself a mercenary soldier. I think if you have the Rifts archetype, or excuse me, the Rifts books for Savage Worlds in there, you should be able to pull up the mercenary soldier.
How do I see if I have the books in here?
Ooh, is he gonna need to update? I see. You're gonna have to let's step through this, steps 1 through 5, because I came in at about step 7.
All right. So on the right side, you're gonna see, and if you're watching my stream, you can see it. So if
How do
you
I close these windows that are up? Yeah.
so some windows are gonna stay open. This one on the left
Yeah.
here is the chat window, and anybody can type into this, and we can see chat messages.
Yeah, that's it. I got 2 on top: character selection and archetypes, and I have no idea how to close those, so I can.
There's a little
see.
skull in the upper right. That's a close
Got
button.
it.
So if you click on library in the upper right and go to modules,
Doesn't look like I've got anything in there.
nope. And then you want to click on activation. And oh wow, that's hard to read. Holy crud. I can barely read that. I don't think I
can't
want
read
that
any
one.
of those.
Yeah, I know. That's really dark. I would click on. Hold on, I'll just click them. Savage Worlds Adventure Edition. So this one right here. So if yours should look exactly like this. Am I correct? Okay. So this one right here, the left third one from the top. Click load on that,
Got it.
and then not that one, and then you want to click on. Yep, this one on the right with the kind of wintry picture, and then the one directly above that, you want to click on that one. So you should have 3 loaded.
Okay.
Now, if you close
Yep.
the module activation and you click on the Rifts Tomorrow Legion Player's Guide, the top one is the Tomorrow Legion Player's Guide, and that will open basically the book that you can do. And since you're going with the Mercenary, Mystic Mind Melter, did they put that in Tomorrow World? Oh, that's Techno Wizard. Put that on. Third user. Maybe it's a Mars.
Yeah. Sorry, the Merc Soldier is a Mars.
Yep. So you want to click on Mars,
Okay.
and that's
Click on
your
Mars.
character.
Okay.
Okay. I'm doing some research here. I see. It looks like the theme is part of the game extensions that load when I open up my campaign interface.
Yep.
So we'll do that
Yep.
for next session.
Yep.
I do like the idea that this is going to be part of, the lost episodes of the Role-Playing Rats.
Yep.
When we get to like episode 45, it's like, oh God, did you guys listen to session 0? Bro, let us
Yep.
tell you.
Oh yeah.
So what do I need to do to create a character now?
So if you in the upper right, there should be a. Hold on, where is it? Where was which window? Oh, on the right, characters. It might not be it either. I just entered powers, races, skills. Nope, that's not it. Player. There it is. Extend player and click on characters. And then there's a little.
Click on the...
Yep, and it should bring up character selection, and there's a little plus button in the lower right, and hit that.
Ooh. Here, hang on. I can share this so you guys can.
Yep.
1 second.
And there's nothing stopping like that. Vibes, if you want to stream as well on top of it, and same with you, Kintaro, you are. I just think people will do this one as the primary for it. So
Well, no, I'll stream on Discord so you guys can see
okay.
the character thing as I'm going, so you can help out if I'm.
Yep.
Can you
Okay.
see?
Yep,
Can
I
you
can
see my
ya.
screen?
Yep,
Okay.
yep, I got
Cool.
you. The first thing is, of course, put your name in there.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for my PSU to come in. Believe it or not, it was on island today, but it won't come into our local post office until tomorrow. So my laptop will shit the bed if I try to stream on top of your streams.
Oh man.
Oh no, you
Well,
don't have
let's
to.
not do that in session 0. That comes, we're supposed to do that as you like throw, like you're flying armored, guy that you had in the last campaign.
Yeah. No, it's coming. Don't you worry.
All right, so what we're gonna do for you, Kintaro, is move that window off to the side and click on the rule set because we're gonna go through the character creation that it has. So at the top of that modules, there's riffs stuff on that top one. On the right side, the top link on the right window there.
This one right here.
Here. Sorry, I've got like 16 windows open. So under modules on the right side, it says Rifts, the Tomorrow Legion Player's Guide. Yep. And then you click on characters on the left side there. And then down there's Mars. And then, oh my God. I think we're gonna need to restart it because we're not gonna be able to make a character with this.
Yeah.
I
No,
can't.
let's
I
do.
can't read shit. Sorry.
Let's do. No, that's not on you guys. 100%. I'm gonna close out Fantasy Grounds for me,
All right.
and I'll restart, and I'll change the extension.
Yeah, the theme extension is what you need to change, and we can do some changes for a little bit better next time, so we have that riffs thing. But I'll take the opportunity. Everyone who's watching, thank you for joining again. Again, this is session 0, so we're kind of getting everything set up and going through those first time, what the hell are we doing type of moments. So appreciate everybody stopping by and learning with us as we go.
Yeah, they're good moments, and really thank you all for bearing with us.
Just let us know once you've got a different theme. Hey, John.
Sure.
Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. And then Kintaro, I also I don't think I put him in here, but I'll link some basic like rules cheat sheets for Savage Worlds, so that way it's easier to kind of, how do I attack? Oh, this is what I do. Hey, if we are in combat, how, and I'm not being effective, what can I do different within the
Sounds
rules?
good. Because that would definitely be helpful. Because my experience with this is, last time we played.
That's
Absolutely,
worrying.
John. The glitter boy shall come to power. Deafen a couple party members. I mean, it'll be fine.
What?
I mean, I'm probably already deaf, so it'll be all right.
Yeah, swerve. All right, so I see. I am in the Fantasy Grounds main window here. Load campaign, create campaign. If I just load, it's going to start my So do I need to create a new campaign?
Nope. So when you click on load campaign, you click on the campaign, but before you hit start, on the right side there's extensions, and
Yep.
you can uncheck a theme that you have and check another theme that you would
Sure.
like.
We're gonna go for simple brown and see how that does.
Okay. And then you can load it up and see what it looks like. Just open one of the books and make sure that you can, read it. Because if you can't read it, then neither can we.
Fair enough. I didn't realize that was a scroll window down there, so extension where they live. Okay, we're good to go now.
Yep. And I'd like to point out for Kintaro and everybody who's watching, the upper right of the stream is our Roleplaying Rats icon that the best artist, what I think is the best artist, which is my youngest daughter, agreed that she would like to make the icon for it. So it's a futuristic kind of rat, and I love it.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that she's probably the best artist in the whole combine.
There you go.
I have to say, I agree with that theme.
Yeah.
Or that
Okay.
picture.
Theme is up, so we should be good to go here.
Okay, so I will join it. So now that you've joined once, Kintaro, you should be able to go to join campaign, and in the top kind of little window up there, you should be able to just double click on that game and it'll just go in. You don't need to do password, you don't need to do do anything like that, and it should just go.
Yeah,
Yep.
looks
Starting
much
up
better.
now. All right, I'm gonna share my screen again. Now that it's coming back up, I'm gonna make this window bigger because one thing about having stuff in 4K resolution is stuff like this is tiny.
Sure, that was probably the best humble brag I've ever heard, you turd monkey. God, things are
It
so
strains
tiny
my
in
eyes.
4K. Oh man, it strains my eyes. This is tough playing in 4K.
There's too much detail.
I will
just-
put a C clamp on your bandwidth, sir.
Too distracted by all the detail. It's okay. It's okay. Freaking. Oh, character selection / All right.
Also, for everybody watching, the third player, which you can see here right now, is listed as Chaser. That's the name of the character the person was playing from last campaign. Just because we don't have characters for Kintaro or Chaser there, so he's not joining us tonight. Wasn't able to. Oh my God! I think I can see.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody blink twice and spit over your shoulder. It's amazing.
So, one you can see he's disconnected, and that's just a feature of he's not on tonight. So, we'll have a third person probably next Monday.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yep.
All right. Oh God, that is so much better. Yeah. Holy crap.
All right, let me bring up that
Oh,
module. Oh my goodness, I can actually read it now.
yep.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for doing that
All right.
for us.
All right,
Yeah.
guys. So I shit the bed on the theme. Do we need to rub it in? Come on.
No,
No, you did a
that was
great
the
job.
default theme. That was the default theme. So
That wasn't you, dude.
yeah.
You had no idea it was gonna appear impossible to read.
Yep. I think
Wait.
mine did, and I completely forgot what I was doing. So
This is reasonable.
White text on a white background.
Yep.
Seems brilliant.
So once you've got that open for the characters, and then you've got Mars open there. So follow these steps for a Mars character. First, select a Mars package from the list below, which it doesn't show packages. Select a package that best suits your combat. Most of them are based on Rift's occupational character classes. So you're going to be a Merc Soldier. So you're going to begin with +3 skill points, which means you're going to get 18 skill points. So if you've got a scratch paper, that would help. And 5s, if you wanna take them through this instead of me, I'm good with that. I just made my character and went through this process. So I'm kind of
Sure. No. This is
talking over
great.
the GM. That's probably not a good idea.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Because this way I'll know where you went overboard on
Oh,
your character.
okay. Well, first off, I picked a glitter boy.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's already going a little overboard.
Item 1.
You said 18 points?
Yep, you're gonna get 18 skill points because typically you start with 15. So on a separate area, put edges and just leave space to put your edges there. So you're going to begin with Soldier perk, or Edge, and then write down 4 combat or leadership edges.
Where do I find?
So if you see where I'm at on here, so if you scroll down,
1 second.
Yep.
Packages. Alright. Soldier.
Oh, I can see yours. I've got way too many. Yep. So you scroll down, Merc Soldier. So you can see begins with +3 skill points. And then the next one says begins with the soldier and any 4 other combat leadership edges, combat or leadership edges. So there's going to be lists in the edges of what you can do. So think of if you're used to D&D, edges are like feats in
Yep.
essence. So think of them that way.
Yep.
I see.
Yep.
So
And then you're going
how do I
to
add that?
Yep. So that's what you're going to start with for that. So kind of oh, cool thing is select any 2 weapons of choice from close combat and ranged weapons dash personal. If one of the choices is grenades, take an assortment of 8 of any type.
Holy crap. Alright, so what do I- Hmm.
So, and then you're going to begin with standard starting gear, which I took, and then you're going to get 1 body armor, and then 5d6 times 1,000 credits. So probably roll 5d6. So let me show you how to do that if you're watching my stream to do an easy 5d6. So if you pick up your d6 and then holding your left mouse button, you can kind of hold it. If you right click, it'll add a dice. So you can do 2, 3, 4, 5. When you roll it, if you roll in your main desktop area here, it's just going to roll the dice. So you on your side, you can play with dice. We don't have
Mhm.
cameras on, so that's perfectly fine. If you want to show your result to everyone else, so if I did this again, you roll in this text chat, and you can just let go of them like this, and it'll automatically throw them for you. Or if you
Nice.
want to, you can kind of click them and then kind of throw them, and that counts as well.
Nice, cool.
And then depending on how the DM has it set, the other thing for Kintaro is and everybody watching is the dice tower. I love the dice tower for my campaign. John's in chat and he can attest to that. If you were to roll dice and you drop it in the dice tower, you don't get to see it. The other characters don't get to see it. The GM gets to see the results. So he's the only one that will see the results. So, for example, sneaking and stuff like that, you think you're hidden. The GM knows how hidden you are, but your character always thinks they're hidden. They're doing their best. It's awesome.
Boom, boom, boom.
Nice. Alright, so now I need to add stuff.
My dice tower is turned on in the options, but I don't have the actual tower in my interface.
You might have to look around for it because sometimes it puts it in a weird spot. You can also right click on it and unlock position and move it to where you would like it. So I often like move it right here and then relock it so that way it's kind of right next to the chat.
Sure.
John has.
Happy little dice tower.
Yes, I like it. It's a happy little dice tower.
Is this a player that you've scarred in the past?
Don't answer that. Scarred is a very interesting word to put with that.
All right, John.
Created
show me on the doll
tense
where he hurt you.
created tense moments of fun.
Of fun.
Fun,
Kind of like
who?
Resident Evil. That type of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Hard pass.
That type of fun, huh?
Yeah.
So, alright. What do I need to do with these 18 skill points? How do I do?
We'll get there. So let's scroll back up and just make sure I'm going through this right.
And what are the combat leadership edges? Where do I find those?
Yep. We'll get there.
Was Slash a combat leader though?
Combat
he
or
can be.
leadership. There's perks for combat and there's perks for leadership. And they're separate lists. So maybe he was. It depends on what he picks.
No.
Okay. So based on doing this, the building your character normally, which includes those skills, is going to come next. So you want to click on the Fortune and Glory table. So scroll back up in the book. TPK with wings. Oh my god. I haven't killed everybody yet. Where
am I going?
all the way up. And you can see, so right there it says, first thing is select the Mars package from the list below, which you just did. The next one is roll twice on the Fortune and Glory table. So click on that Fortune and Glory table.
Wait, what do you mean I chose from the Mars pack? Oh.
Yep. So
Okay.
on number 2, so on the left side, you see that we changed themes, so the clickable links are now different. So that little eye hexagon, click on that next to Fortune and Glory. Okay, now if you see the table that came up, you can click right on the roll, and it will roll that table for you and give you the result in the chat window. So you click it once, and this is going to be your first Fortune and Glory result. So now what it says is you're going to automatically get the fame edge. So under your edges, write down fame. And in your skills, so what we can do for your skills right now, because you just got some skills. So if you go to your character, which is going to be, I don't see it anywhere. I don't know where your character window is actually.
This one. This big one in the middle.
Okay. If you go to traits on the right, you can see little tabs on the right side of your character sheet. Go to traits. And now you don't have performance, so click on the little green plus at the top there. Nope, that's not how we want to do it. Okay. Right click on that blank area where the cursor is going, and then there'll be a delete skill, kind of bottom left in that window, or delete. And then on the left in the book, on the right, I'm sorry. So on the right, you can see under character, there's a skills at the very bottom of that big list on your right of the entire window. You can see a skills way at the bottom, and then drag performance into that blank area on your character sheet under skills. Boom, now you have performance. Right click on the D4. Okay, and you see how it said gain 2 die types with performance. So there is the plus minus, kind of on the right down 45. Oh wait, sorry, hold on. Oh, click on the assign, straight right. There's an assign. So if you click on the performance D4, and then straight to the right, there's assign. And then you're going to go up 2 dice, so you will go from D4 to D6, D6 to D8. So click on the D8 because you went up 2 dice types in it. Okay. And then I would under notes. So go to the notes tab on your character. It's the bottom tab. And write in a note that you get to reroll. You gain a free reroll when using performance. And that way you've got a note of it. Ives, what are you telling everybody?
Okay.
I think he's trying to kill us.
I see. That's not where your focus is. You need no character generation. Chop chop.
Okay, now
Right.
on the Mars Fortune and Glory, click the roll again because you get 2 on it. All right. And this one says Shooting. Oh, hell yes.
No. No.
Yes, yes.
Whoa. Gain a personal ranged weapon of choice or trademark weapon first.
Yep.
Ooh.
So for your skills again, go back to your traits and then drag in shooting for one of your traits. And then up that by 2 die types. So you can just click on D8 and it'll automatically do that. There you go. All right. And then I would write down on your scratch paper, write down you get a personal ranged weapon. Personal ranged or trademark weapon. I'm not sure what a trademark weapon is right off the top of my head, but we'll figure that out.
Okay. Got it.
Now that you've done that part of it,
Did I keep all these other skills? These just
yep. There's a default set of skills that you get. So
okay.
that you start basically every adventure is skilled in them, which is why you get those.
Yes.
Okay.
Got it.
So now what you need to think about is if you look at the third part in the book, it's got a Mars heroes begin with 3 rolls on any hero's journey tables you like. So some may make more sense than others. So kind of think about your character and you can click on the little information to kind of see what they've got in them. So for example, you could roll on the body armor table. And the first one is you may trade the starting armor from your iconic framework for any other body armor, not powered armor or robot vehicle. If this is not your first roll, apply all of the results from rolling on this table to your newly chosen body armor. So that's kind of what that one is doing. You can get different body armors, like one's a micro exoskeleton enhancements in the upper torso and arms gives your hero a strength die increase. So for example, that. So you can think about you
Right.
want close combat and you get to roll on 3 tables. And then, of course, it's up to 5s if he wants to let you roll multiple times on one table or he wants them all separate or whatever. So, Golem joined.
So for a trademark weapon, when using that weapon, you can choose one unique weapon. And when using that weapon, you add +1 to your fighting, shooting, or throwing roll. So
Oh,
basically, you choose
geez.
the one weapon that, that Slash knows like the back of his hand, that he's like it's a part of him, and that's your trademark weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Got it.
Yeah. And it acts kind of like a D&D sentient item, like item, not weapon, but in that if you lose that item, that's fine. But if you pick up another weapon of that same type, it takes 2 weeks to kick in. Like you have to learn and know that weapon. It's essentially training so much with an item that it becomes
Okay.
an extension of your body.
There you
Got
go.
it. That's cool.
Yep.
That's cool. I'm down for that.
Yeah. Slash as a
So
mercenary soldier definitely has that in his world.
so should I roll for the body armor table? I think that'd be one for Merc Soldier.
Okay. Yeah, it's up to you.
So that means I get to trade.
So yours is because you picked Merc Soldier. You begin with standard starting gear plus any one body armor. So 5s, the question with that one is he's already gets any body armor he wants, and his roll says he gets any
Should I re-roll that?
armor. So
No,
should he
you
re-roll
don't
that?
have to re-roll that. You don't have to re-roll that, Kintaro. So basically what that's going to do means that you can go from choosing any body armor to choosing any minor power armor. So you could choose like a
Oh,
terrain hopper power armor if you like.
okay.
That's that we're just gonna bump that up because I'm gonna treat that as an explodes roll, right? For all of our Twitch listeners, if you roll a maximum number on a die, that die explodes and you get to roll it again and then add that to your result. So what we're going to do here for the body armor is instead of him getting to choose a basic body armor, he can choose a minor power armor. So T21 Terrain Hopper is classic Rift's armor. It's basically you get to make big power jumps, but he gets to choose any minor power armor, not a Coalition Samus or anything crazy, but a minor power armor. Essentially a power armor that would be available to anybody in the Rift's world, or anyone that's purchasing from Northern Gun Ishpeming, or even a damaged Triax armor. That's my ruling there.
Mm,
Nice.
okay. That works.
Yeah. So if there's anything that you feel like, oh, this looks sick and the stats are crazy, that means you need to damage it. And we're just gonna knock 50% off whatever those stats are, the armor, etc. You know, because Savage Worlds, it gives me a framework, so I'm running with that for this ruling.
Okay. Sounds good. Medieval. And then, pick 2 other tables to roll on and take the results from it.
So, should I worry about the minor power armor now, or worry about that in a little bit?
Up to you. I'm trying to find. Do you know where your list is for the minor power armor? I'm trying to look it up, and you were mentioning the hopper, and I'm not seeing the hopper.
Sure. So let's go to do you have the Rift's PDF open, or are you open within the interface?
Within the interface, because I'm looking, because you can go to your character sheet and drag the armor in if we can find it here. I'm just not sure which one it is.
Sure. Okay. So I'm in the actual PDF, so that's going to be something like the FT005 Flying Titan.
Okay.
That's going to be something like the Grease Monkey, and that's going to
Saw
be
that.
something like if you want to go from an NG dash. So Northern Gun is the North American producer of power armor.
Okay.
And so anything from Northern Gun is going to be a consumer power armor,
Mm-hmm.
with a couple exceptions, because they do make some cool shit. But Triax or Coalition, so T-31,
Yeah.
or the Coalition is a C dash anything, those are going to be at 50% health. But an NG, with the exception of a couple, are going to be 100%.
Okay. So Kintaro, if you on the book, so if you're looking at the sheet or my stream, if you scroll down, there is gear, and then there's power armor under gear, under the armor. And then if you scroll down to the bottom of the power armor, it's really hard to see, but there's this little information on the power armor. If you click that, it'll bring up the power armor. And
Got it.
basically, kind of what I heard is the first 3 are at 100% health. The triaxes are at 50% if you pick those. And you can always click on the little eye next to it to kind of pull up and see what it does.
Yep.
Type of idea.
Yep, nailed it.
And then just pick the one you want. And then on your character, the same thing as before, but this is going to be under, inventory. And then at the top, there's an armor tab. So if you look at my stream, I clicked on the inventory here, armor here, and then you can drag which one you want in here. Kind of like I have my Glitter Boy, and I also started with, not in Glitter Boy, just regular body armor type of stuff. That makes sense.
Yeah, I see that. I think I want that Flying Titan.
Cool. That's a great choice, man.
Yep, and you can see a picture of it right here. That's actually one of the pictured ones.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yep, so just grab it and drag it onto your armor. and that
Like
should
that.
drop it in there. Now, this is where it's going to get a little interesting. So let's try this out. So if you look at your armor, there's kind of this little icon that looks like a bag on the kind of right side of the armor. If you click
Yep.
that until it says equipped, it'll like that. Now go to your traits real quick. And you'll see now, if you look on the left under derived stats, there's a toughness. Your toughness went up to your armor rating, which is a lot higher than your base character. So if you've got it
Mhm.
equipped, so now if you go back down to your inventory and put it to carried again, and then go back to your traits, you'll see that your toughness goes down. But I also think with yours, if I'm not mistaken from the picture, I'm not sure on the armor itself, but I think you can actually fly. I can't.
Yeah,
Correct.
I think it's got a flight system to it.
Yep.
Correct.
Kind of why I chose it.
Yep.
Yeah, nimble flight system, handling +2, 400 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so just to put this in
Quick little
perspective
thing.
for the Twitch listeners, the glitter boy that Icy Macaw is playing is essentially the paladin from Dungeons and Dragons or the Abrams tank from our modern world. Like, he is the walking equivalent of, oh shit, it is far beyond, it's gotten real. Like, this is it. This is the high school equivalent of taking off your shirt before a fight. Like, the glitter boy is it, period. But the Flying Titan gets some different abilities than this walking behemoth that is the end all and be all. The Flying Titan can jump, fly. He's got, the capability to carry generic arms that general people can carry. His power armor hands are small enough to use any armament, but the Glitter Boy is like the period end all be all it item. So
Mhm.
let's not get this wrong. They are different tools for different jobs. And if you were working on a general scale of what the world is, the Glitter Boy is it. But in a scenario based, issue or, specific taken item by item, the Flying Titan may win in some cases. They are rare.
All right, and that was your second roll on those tables. So now that you've got that in there, kind of pick
Yeah,
your.
he's got enough shit. Can we stop?
I got a few things on mine too. So
Wait, what was
Oh, I
what
am
was the
aware.
second roll? The first one was the armor. What was the second one? I don't remember the second one.
you had reach out and touch someone, so you got a special weapon and a +1 to use that weapon at all times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the favored or signature weapon.
Hold
Yep.
on.
Trademark.
Trademark.
Trademark signature. What is it? I don't know.
I think it's trademark.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
trademark.
No, that was the Fortune and Glory table.
Oh, that was. No, you're right. Okay, yeah. So
that wasn't the Mars Hero.
Okay.
Rolls.
So now you get to pick 2 more then. Never mind.
Cybernetics benefit, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you recall here, before you roll, Kintaro, if you recall, the Mercenary Soldier in classic Rifts is this augmented, war-torn hero. You've spent more of your life fighting than you've spent living. There are those children youth years, but you're essentially, you grew up behind the stock of a rifle. That's like the end all be all. So I know that you had some background for Slash, so you could just be transporting Slash over from our previous Palladium game. I hate to say it, guys, but a year ago. Sorry, Twitch. But, or you could, be reimagining Slash. So, take a second here to think about what tables you want to roll on as far as who Slash is, where they came from, and what they're doing. You can use some of that background of the Tolkien War, of the freedom fighters, the resistance, or even the previous background of Coalition, because you had, now that we're moving into this second campaign, this is kind of the third background opportunity. So you have 2 background opportunities for slash. So think about that for a second before you roll.
Got it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Although I'm looking at it now, I can't remember which ones I rolled on. Oh, I only got to roll once on those tables. That's what it was.
I think I'm gonna do close combat weapons and ranged weapons.
Okay.
19. What does a 19 give me?
So you can, with a 19, you get to go through the table and pick the one that you want specifically.
Oh shit!
That's a good roll. Holy crap.
Agreed.
It sounds like Five's left the desk. So when I rolled my 2 tables, I actually rolled a 19 and a 20, so I got to pick whichever one I wanted on my rolls.
Nice. That's helpful.
Sort of. You have to kind of pick it.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping it would just give me one.
I mean, you could like that picking to reroll. I would say that's okay, but Fives has ultimate say on that. Some of these are pretty freaking cool.
This one, I don't mind. The superior balance of this weapon allows you to ignore up to 2 points of penalties for fighting rolls.
Oh, ooh, which one is that?
5/6 right here.
5/6. Balance this weapon allows you to ignore up to 2 points. All right, and this is, you said close combat. Which one did you roll on? Oh shoot, I'm on the wrong one.
Close combat weapon.
Okay, so that's pretty nutty. So basically, think about like in D&D, you know how you can take disadvantage, but you can also get like +2 or -2. So it's the same thing
Yeah.
in this game. You can get -2 because of penalties. Like called shots is one where you get negatives. So like if you want to hit the weapon of the opponent with like a club or a sword or whatever melee weapon you choose for this, you would be able to do a called shot, and if it's like -4 to do it, you'd only have a -2.
Kind of like that.
Immediately sounds like bullshit.
I mean, we are playing riffs. There's all sorts of crazy stuff here.
I mean, point.
So would that just be add that to my notes then?
I would add that, yeah, to your notes, and then whenever you're using your melee weapon, just remember to keep that in mind. So when 5 says you got -16, you can be like, -14.
Hashtag broken.
You know, kind of lift your nose up, act all flaunty.
Yeah,
Close
that's all
combat
part of it, right?
weapons.
That's all part of the edge.
They just didn't want to type that part in. It just seemed too long. Just FYI, Fives. The boom gun is has a armor piercing of 25, so it ignores 25 points of armor on an opponent.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, no, I've been working on that. It's a thing.
5d10 plus 5. Well, that's the point though. But I can't use it
Mhm.
in every circumstance. So that's my thing with it is like if we're in close combat, I can't use my boom gun because I'll deafen every party member that's there.
But that's just it. You can use your boom
Well,
gun, and
I
it will
can.
deafen every party member.
Yep. Yep.
The real question is, how much do you care? How much
Mm.
does Taylor care? Tyler.
I think he cares a fair amount about that.
No,
He's
he
out. He's out here to.
mustn't.
Ooh.
He's out here to do good. So
No,
So I get
it's a
a
lie.
vibro knife mounted bayonet style on a rifle.
what you're saying is you basically got the Gears of War assault rifle.
Basically.
No, don't do it, please. Please
It's
don't.
it's too late.
No. Oh God.
It does mega damage.
Mm-hmm.
Boop, boop, boop.
Some poor guy that's like not in any armor is gonna get caught by that.
Well, no. Let's be fair here. If the bayonet does mega damage, if we're going full Gears of War, let's go for it. If you have a chainsaw bayonet that does mega damage, the GM will work with you to make that work. As much as I regret saying,
It's gonna happen sooner or later.
son of a biscuit.
It's gonna happen sooner or later. I might keep that vibro knife in my backpack for now.
Yep. Or that's cool because then if you get into hand to hand with your like put that on your trademark weapon. That way if you get into combat.
Exactly. That's kind of what I was thinking. That's a good idea.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna tie this a little bit to who Slash is because, if we think about World War One and World War Two, there is a certain type of person that is ready for trench warfare or
Mhm.
can participate in trench warfare, and there's a certain type of person that can participate or is ready for uh, knife fights, even if it's a one-handed chain sword, or chain knife.
Yep.
Let's think about this. There's a certain type of person who's ready to go charging across, go over the top, with their bayonet on the end of their gun. And there's another type of person who's ready to pull out a knife in a bar fight, a dark alley, or in an open gang war. So I want you to think about who Slash is, and I need you to tell me what he would be ready for. Because and this is for Twitch as well, but for you guys, the reality is that I want to tell a story with you, with my players. We are all playing this game and creating this story. So it's going to be fun. And as I said to
Aw.
John earlier, if one of you will succeed against my TPK, it will be spectacular because the dice say it is so. The odds will be stacked against you, but it's going to be good. So I want to make sure that we're all working together on this story. So you need to tell me, Slash, is Slash the type of character that's going to put the knife on the end of a bayonet and he's ready to rock, or is he the kind of guy who's going to take his bayonet off and he's ready to rock? Those are two different people.
Think like just Wolverine sees red, jumps in, and goes to town.
Okay, so
Like
he's taking that
looking to
bayonet
do it.
off or breaking that rifle over someone's head.
Yeah. He's
Okay.
just going in and murdering everything.
Okay, fantastic. Fantastic.
That would not be nice. All right,
Mhm.
so now I've rolled on all three tables.
Mhm. And now you're gonna make a character normally.
And you've broken my game a little bit by rolling on all three tables.
I have no idea how to make a character normally.
Yep, I'm getting there to where
Okay.
to where that is. It's probably gonna be in this here. Just a second. Yes. Okay. Yep. So the first thing we're going to do is you've done your concept work. So if you want to open up, and this is where it gets a little interesting, the modules, you can open up the player Savage Worlds Adventure Edition player, and go to characters, and the characters has basically what we're going to do for creating your character. So
Okay, players. And
yeah, right at the first link at the top is the one you want, Savage Worlds Adventure
Oh.
Edition. And there's
Got it.
characters, and then the characters, and skip down to hindrances in that window. And you can kind of read about. So hindrances are flaws, drawbacks, or dark secrets drawn from your character's backstory. You can take up to 4 points of hindrances. A major hindrance is worth 2 points. So as you're looking at that, so you can see all thumbs is a minor, anemic is minor. There's some that say major. And a minor is worth 1. So, for example, if you take a minor, that's 1 point that you get. And I'll tell you what those do in a second. So you can take up to 4 points. You can take more than that, but you can only get up to 4 points benefit. So, for example, you could take 20 points of hindrances, but you'd only get 4 points. For every 2 points, you can do a raise of an attribute 1 die type, and an attribute is, if you go to your character and traits, those are your agility, smart, spirit, strength, and vigor. So you can raise one of those 1 die for 2 points. Or you can choose an edge. So, for example, what I did is I took 4 points of hindrances to get 2 edges, is what I did.
Hindrances are what create the fabric of your character. What have you had to overcome, or what have you embraced as a flaw and say, this is who I am, and this is just a part of me.
And the other thing to remember here for you, Kintaro, is that there are hindrances in Suede, and there are hindrances in the Rifts book. So you got to kind of go through the 2 of them and do that. However, if you click on the hindrances on the right, under character, that should bring up all of them, and you can see where they come from. So some of them will say Rifts, and some of them will say Savage Worlds. So if you click over
Wait,
there
how'd
on
you
the
get that list?
so if you on the right side, way over on your right side with that list, like the library player campaign character, under
This one right
character,
here. Oh,
it says hindrances, and then you can see there's a list there. Yep, and you can see how it says Savage Worlds Adventure. So if you scroll down a bit, eventually you'll see one that says Rifts. So that's the full list of hindrances.
all right. Now you can just grab those and put them.
Yep, you can drag those. So if you look on your character, and if you go to main, the tab at the top, you have edges, hindrances, and abilities. For example, my character has arrogant and curious as hindrances. So, and again, just remember that if you want, so I got extra edges that I got to take because I took those. So I got basically 2 extra edges for taking 4 points worth of hindrances.
Mm-hmm.
So do I have to take hindrances?
You damn right you do. Sorry, that was aggressive.
So here's in terms of Suede, and Fives jump in. Do you, unless you want to describe what they do and Benny's a little bit?
Sure. So, the bottom line here is that there are different systems for different game systems. But for Suede, for Savage Worlds Adventure Edition, you have hindrances and edges. So for hindrances, this is really, as I said before, this is really what creates the fabric of your character. It's are you missing an arm? Are you prideful? Are you hesitant? Are you heroic, which can actually be, a bad thing? Are you clumsy? Are you curious? And that's kind of what those mean in the Savage World edition. It like those are detractors. They could be physical characteristics like being obese or missing an arm, or they could be societal interactive characteristics like you're prideful or you're arrogant, or they could be just personal characteristics like you're an introvert or you're a shutaway, or maybe you're a gym rat. You're a what's that word? I can't think of it. Narcissistic. It could be a personality trait, so a completely internal trait. It just depends, but that's what a hindrance is. And if you think about it in terms of a real person, what makes people interesting, it's one of those things that draws you to a person or pushes you away from a person. And so that's something that we need to consider. And so you do have to take hindrances, and there are some that are way less damaging than others. Let's be realistic here.
Hmm.
If you chose the Flying Titan as a power armor, you're probably not going to choose the obese hindrance, right? Let's think about
Yeah.
that. So that's a piece of that puzzle there. So if we move on to benefits, which I see also just mentioned, a Benny is a token that gets given to each player based on adversity. In other game systems, you've heard of adversity tokens, which is actually a thing. I think that's a Teens in Space. Um, Teens in Space. It's actually called an adversity token, but every time you would fail a roll, you get that. But anyway, for a Benny here in Savage Worlds, every now and again you get to re-roll a die. And so every game session, not a recurring session with a player, but every game session. So every week, maybe twice a week, it depends. Twitch listeners, let's not get too excited. You're going to get the opportunity to start with 3 bennies, and that lets you re-roll a die. That lets you create a sorry, if you get if you do something that is specific to your character, I'm going to give you a Benny, or you're going to be able to re-roll a die, which is going to influence the game. If we go back to D&D 3.5, that's Eberron. You had these fate points where you can choose
Inspiration.
to inspiration points. Yeah. Very, very common now. A lot of people know
Mhm.
about inspiration points.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So that's
And
in essence what they are.
yeah, and the note here is that I also get bennies. The game master gets bennies. So, but
Ooh.
you can prevent a wound. In a soak roll in Savage Rules we have soak, so you can prevent a wound with a soak roll. You can draw a new action card, or you could recover from a player. I don't remember the word, but again, you can recover from being shaken, from being blinded, from being deafened. If the glitter boy just happens to shoot next to you, you could spend a Benny to say, "Well, this time I shake it off, or this time something happens. My character was doing X, and so I'm going to spend this Benny point, and this is how I explain it in the game." And so you get to dodge that specific effect. So bennies are sort of that universal band-aid.
And do you and in the book that I read, so how do you deal with role playing your hindrances? Because that's one thing they talk about bennies as well. How are you going to do that, Fives?
That's well, so if you roleplay into your hindrance, I will give you a Benny hands down. And that'll
Ooh.
play into your advancement. I'm also into buffing in advancement for a specific player. In D&D terms, this would be giving the wizard extra experience points, and he can create scrolls without losing a spell level, going back to 3rd edition. So, for hindrances, if you use them, you will be rewarded in game, hands down, because we're all about role play here. That's what makes people engaging. That's what makes characters engaging. And sometimes it leads to a combat bonus.
All
Sometimes
right.
it leads to you not dying. But
Definitely found a
sometimes
hindrance that I need because it fits my guy well.
Hold on,
He's
Icy.
definitely
Now he
gonna.
needs one. Did you hear that?
Well, it's gonna be a minor one for hard of hearing. That
Oh
definitely works
God.
good for mercenary. What? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. The glitter boy's too loud. What?
Oh man.
Quiet, glitter boy, shut up! I need to hear what he's saying.
Here we go.
That's one.
Yeah, and
s-
that's a great start.
And then what? Yeah. Oh, you already did it. Okay, good.
Lean into your character trope. You're a mercenary and you're working with the glitter boy. For some backstory, yes, you absolutely have been working with uh Tyler for a while. So that's a thing. Lean into your character trope. What other hindrance do you think just is a no-brainer for Slash to have?
Probably mean. He's not the nicest guy to talk to when it comes to NPCs.
Come on now. Do you think mean is the way to go for squad of player characters? Come on, easy tiger.
With hard of hearing, John just said, "I never heard them say they surrendered."
Right? Surrender. Who said that?
John,
I didn't hear it.
you're disbarred, sir.
What? Maybe we'll see. Hold on. Definitely not passive. You mean we had to go in stealth? I thought that was optional.
I thought we were stealthy. I didn't hear anything.
Right?
Oh man, we got to get that dice tower in for sure.
Isn't it still stealth if no one's alive to sound the alarm?
I mean, he has a point.
That's true.
No one sounds the alarm because they're not left alive to do it. Does that mean that the cover got blown?
We're working on some mean technicalities here, guys. I don't know. Does that does the Suede interface that he's in right now, Icy, does that have the Rift's hindrances as well?
No, that one does not. So that's why I was saying the lower right, or he kind of has. You have the window up there in the Tomorrow Legion Player's Guide. There should be a hindrances section in there. There they are. Yep. If you scroll down, past DBs and mutants, there's attributes, abilities, attribute skills, and hindrances, and there aren't many specific. There's illiterate and mania. It looks like there are the two that were added in.
There's
In
also monologular. Pardon me there, but that's a major, not a minor. But I feel like based on his Tarkov playing, this would fit Kintaro 100%.
What is it? I don't know if I see it.
I'll just read it here. Anytime the character's action card is a club, he must make a smarts roll at -2 or spend his action rambling on about one thing or another. The talkative character may only take free actions during this monologue. The flavor text is that some folks can't help running their mouths, taunting people, lecturing, or making lengthy observations about their surroundings when they should be fighting for their lives. And based on the way that you voice comm during Tarkov, sir, this is a shoe-in.
Oh, because just kind of talking while we're fighting. Like, oh.
Yeah, just a little bit. Hey, everyone, be quiet. I hear footsteps. Yabugala! Okay, Kintaro. Alrighty then.
Oh, Icy, didn't scare crap out of you the other night?
Oh, geez, yeah. Like every night you're doing that now.
Hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, how's this? What? Boom, boom, boom! Shit.
9.
Potentially 11.
It's like, wait, what? I don't think I see that hindrance you're talking about though.
I don't I don't either in the hindrances list.
Yeah, because I
That-
just have illiterate and mania.
That may be an update that they
Wh-
made or didn't make to what you call.
I mean, we can add it if that's one you want to take.
How? Yeah, it's fine. I want to see it. I want to read it. That sounds funny.
Okay, I just dropped it into our Discord chat there, a screenshot from the Rifts Suede book.
Okay.
2 seconds, I'll jump over there.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it. So
Odd.
Oh, it's a major one.
yeah.
Nice.
Which means you get 2 points, not 1.
Yep.
And remember, those 2 points can be traded for an attribute die bump or an edge.
So then the 2 minor ones I got. Oh, hard. Oh yeah, hard of hearing's minor. I'm taking the minor one, not the major. Like I can hear some things, but like if there's a lot of background noise, if it's noisy, makes it hard for my guy to hear. The major one is dude's completely deaf, and he's not completely deaf. He's just been around too many gunshots with no ear protection.
I'm gonna have so much
If you
fun
know
with
what I
that.
mean.
Oh yeah,
What? What do you mean they said they surrendered?
it's gonna be a good time.
Wait, you guys surrender?
This is gonna be great.
All right, so I guess that puts me at 4 hindrance points then.
Yep, you're done.
All right, what else needs to be done?
Okay. So from there, now that you've picked that, you get to your traits. So what it is characters are defined by their attributes and skills, collectively called traits. So for your attributes, all of your attributes start at D4. So if you go to your character sheet and you go to traits, you'll see in the kind of upper left there's attributes. Agility, smart, spirit, strength, and vigor. You have 5 points to increase your attributes. Raising a D4 to a D6, for example, costs 1 point. You're free to spend these points however you like, except that no. Um, no attribute can go above a D12 unless the racial ability says otherwise.
Gotcha.
The importance of these. Do you want to go over them fives, or how do you want me to do that?
Sure. So the reality of the attributes is instead of having, let's go back to D&D, instead of having an 18 or a, initial cap of 20 in that stat, this is where you succeed, is having a bump, or excuse me, not succeed. This is where you create the person that slash is. So if you spend that point, you go up from a D4 to a D6. You spend 2 points, you go from D6 to a D8. And of course, we can go up to, a D12, right? I wouldn't recommend going up to D20, really. So the D12 is kind of it. And the reality is, like I joke a lot, I'm not going to be out to kill you. And when you go to raise, when you go to advance in Savage Worlds, one of the things to note here is that you do get the opportunity to raise this, but I think it's every 2 advancements, not every single advancement. Correct me if I'm wrong, Icy.
If I remember right, I think it's two advancements let you raise an attribute. If I remember right, I'll have to
Yeah.
look that up.
Yeah. So that's, something to keep in mind there. So the bottom line is when you spend these points, it's who slash is. And that's the biggest takeaway that I had whenever I make a character. At advancing a character, or excuse me, choosing the attributes for a character is really like that's it for me.
There's 2 other things that I would take into account. One
Mhm.
is when you're doing your skills, the attached attribute to that skill, it costs 1 point to increase it up to the dice of the attribute. So, for example, like Electronics is smarts, right? So if your
Yeah.
smarts is a D4 and you want to go from a D4 to D6 in electronics, it's going to cost you 2 points instead of 1.
Okay. And
The other
you said there's 5 points to start
Yep.
with?
The other thing I
Okay.
would take into account is in Savage Worlds, when you are shaken, which is kind of the first thing that happens before you start taking wounds, on the next turn, when you are shaken, you do a vigor roll. So you'll be doing a lot of vigor rolls. So my character, I increased that to a D6, because and remember that those rolls you need a 4. So a D4 and needing a 4 means a quarter of the time, like 3/4 of the time, you're not making that check, right? So you stay shaken and can only take 3 actions, I think, and Fives, correct me if I want. So
Oh
for
no,
my
you're good.
character, I increased vigor to D6 because I wanted to be able to be unshaken on my, successive turns. Just as a keep in mind, because you don't know the rules. That's one thing that I was looking at, like, ooh, I don't want that low.
Okay. Okay, so I see your agility's up 1, your smarts is up 2, sprite up 1, and your vigor's up 1.
All right. If we're gonna game the system a little bit here, the Merc, you're definitely higher in strength and vigor. You may be higher in smarts as well, but like spirit and agility are definitely your dump stats.
So
And
probably
I
says
think
spirit and
agility for
agility.
sure.
So you said strength
But,
and vigor.
before you completely align with that, let's also think about what kind of mercenary Slash is. Does he believe that not getting hit at all is better than having a higher armor? In which case, strength and vigor 100%, agility is 100% dump. Is he a tank? Or is he a little bit more agile? Is he a little bit more light on his feet? He likes to be a sniper. He likes to shoot. He likes to get up into the high places. He likes to, get those 1,000-yard, 2,000-yard shots. Then maybe agility is actually more of a thing, and potentially strength is a dump stat, and vigor is where he excels because he's this hardy, lean, strong as a whip warrior.
Yeah, definitely
It's
not one to take shots, rather not get hit and hit from distance, yeah. What is sprite?
Spirit.
Spirit, yeah.
yeah, Sprite's crap. Drink Sierra Mist.
Spirit.
Yeah.
Sprite's crap.
Yeah. Let me go to the other book. There we go. Oh.
That might be.
So spirit is
That might
self-confidence,
be.
backbone, and willpower. It's used to resist social and supernatural attacks as well as fear.
I think I'm gonna go with 2 in agility, 1 in smarts, 1 in strength, and 1 in vigor.
Ooh, spirit is his dump. Twitch, I'm gonna ask you to remember that as we move forward. It's gonna be real good. It's gonna be real good.
Okay. So now that you've got that picked out, then we get on
I don't know.
to...
I might switch strength.
Well, let's go to skills,
No.
and then you can kind of see what you need.
Yeah, no, you chose. This is good. This is good. Just
That's
embrace it. Embrace your future and be ready to roll another character.
that's fine. All right, I got skills up. Where do I need to?
Okay. So with these, you have 5 skills. John just said Pepperidge Farms remembers. For your spirit being low. You start with 5 that are just every entity in the game world kind of has. They have athletics, they have common knowledge, they have notice, they have persuasion, and they have stealth to some degree. So basically you start with, a D4 in each of those. If you're untrained in a skill, you roll a D4 minus 2. So remember, if you need to make a 4, on a D4 with a -2, you have to ace it and get at least a 2 on the second die roll, for example. So untrained is not the great. So buying skills. After core skills are assigned to you, you have 12 additional points. I'm sorry, so the +3 will bring you to 15. I was wrong on that. So you don't have 18, you have 15. So that's an oops on my part.
No worries.
Um,
Easy fix.
and it's just like I said. Each die type costs 1 point starting at D4. So to take a D4, you have to spend 1 point to do that. So when you drag another skill in, you're going to get that at D4, which is 1 point, right? And then as long as it is equal to or less than the attribute that it is attached to. If you exceed the linked attribute, it costs 2 points more. And again, skills are capped at D12, and then maximum to D12 plus 1, or yeah, they're may not be increased above D12 during character creation unless the character's race starts with the skill at D6, which we didn't go over races. I didn't know if you
No,
wanted to be
Slash is
non-human.
human.
Okay,
Yep.
then that's the case. So you have 15 points to spend on skills, either the ones you have listed already. You could increase those as long as the attached skills. So there's also that little eye next to the skills. So if you click that, it'll tell you right underneath there, like persuasion is a spirit skill. And then like piloting is an agility skill. And shooting is an agility skill. So one I would suggest taking for you is take shooting, because that's shooting your gun. Or
Yeah. I
yeah,
have
that type
shooting.
of stuff. Okay. Yep.
Hashtag
That's right.
meta.
That's right.
I have shooting. It's a D8 too.
Yep. So kind of
So
what I did is the skills that I took in addition is I took fighting. So that way I can get into some hand to hand. I took healing up to a D8.
that's what I was thinking too.
I took notice is already there, so that's I increased notice and I have it listed twice. So let's get rid of the one I didn't do anything with.
So when you take a skill, does that count as 1 point?
Yep.
I should mark this as I do it. That's 1.
And then piloting is also a good one. I think you're gonna need piloting for your armor. And piloting in the technical ones it says it's a little different, because piloting is helicopters, jetpacks, spaceships, and I think in piloting also goes for power armor, right? At least that's what I think I read in the Rift
You
stuff
are
fives. Okay.
You are 100% correct. Yes.
Okay.
You going to need piloting, or it's going to
Yep.
be a real shit show.
Yep. I also took repair, research, and increased my stealth. That's what I did for my character. But if you, again, on the very far right side, you can click on skills, and that'll give you the full list of skills that you can get. Now, remember that some of them, fives will have to tell you if they're available in this world, because I have no idea. Like, spell casting, do we have spell casting, or is it a different skill? I don't know.
Yeah. No, Rifts definitely does a couple things differently, so it's a case by case. Let me know what you're looking at, Kintaro, and we can iron that out.
Okay. Hacking's there, right?
Oh, yes.
Yep.
And you said increasing it
Oh.
each 1 dice is a point?
Yep, up to the attached attribute level. So like that. If you're looking at hacking, for example, as a specific example, your smarts is a D6. So you could spend 1 point to bring it to a D4, 2 points to bring it to D6. If you wanted to put it to D8, you'd have to spend a total of 4 points to get it to that D8.
Okay,
Yes.
so I'll put it down to D6 then.
Yep. And remember, we get advancements. It's just like leveling in D&D. You get to update your skills and do various things when we basically gain a level.
Yep.
Whoops, didn't mean to do that.
Trying to see. Oh, never-
Oh, nice. And you can see here what it did automatically is the persuasion. Because you're mean, it automatically added a -1 in because of that hindrance you took. So it
Yeah.
does some of that automation for you.
I
And there are
think I got
arguments to go both ways. Do you put 1 point into multiple skills so that you are kind of a jack of all trades, or do you dump your points into a few skills beyond the basic 4 that every player gets?
I think I got 2 more points to do. I think I'll put fighting up to a D8 and use my last 2. So, does that look all right? Points spent and skills gotten.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's 15. So I counted 1 for adding it and 1 for each time I put the die up.
Mm-hmm. As long as you didn't go over your actual trait/attribute die.
I think
Because-
shooting I did go. I went to 10. It's only at 8.
Right. So that, that you should have counted 2 to go up from a D8 to a, hang on, there's no D10, that should
Okay.
be a D12, right?
There's D10.
Yeah.
I was gonna say then I'll put it back to 8, and that would give me 1 point back then.
No, 10's all right then, as long as you've counted. I
Yeah,
mean, and
if you
again,
yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, no, because I would have only counted the 1 point at the 10, but I would have
sure.
counted
So
it because it came in at 4, or no, it was 6 because I got the +2. I got the +1 to die to it automatically. And I
sure.
counted
So
1 for 8 and then 1 for 10. But if I put it back to 8, then that gives me 1 point back.
Yep.
sure. So if you're counting your points, remember what kind of mercenary is slash. I mean, shooting is. You mentioned you would pull that bayonet off and go Wolverine, right? So what's your fighting skill at? What's your shooting skill at? That's probably the 2 areas that you excel. You might have to pull a skill that you wanted if you've run out of points. But going from a D8, if the managing trait caps at a D8, then the D10 is going to cost you 2 points to bring shooting up to that D10.
Got it. I should probably put healing up to D6. Okay, there. That should be the last point then. Because my smarts is a 6. So there, that's everything. Nothing beyond the level it should be. 15 points spent, skills, and adjustments to said skills.
Yeah, then we're in the clear.
Alright, then what do we got next, gentlemen?
So it
I
says the next
appreciate
thing,
the help doing it.
yep, is your derived statistics, which should be automatically set. So if you're on the traits, your, for example, your pace is how
There.
fast your character moves in tactical situations. Standard pace is 6, which means 6 tabletop inches. So think of like D&D, each square is a pace. And
What about the toughness?
so parry should be equal to 2 plus half your character's fighting die type. A total of 2 if a character doesn't have fighting. So you took fighting,
Sick.
didn't you?
Yeah.
What's your fighting at?
So
D8?
mine's 8, so it should be at 6. Because 2 plus half of it, yeah.
Yep. Size, toughness is your hero's damage threshold. Damage rolls that equal or exceed this number causes harm. Toughness is 2 plus half your hero's vigor plus armor. So armor will go into that. So when you put on your armor, it'll go higher than that.
Actually, yeah, let me put that on.
Yep. Oh,
Unless he does before he has the armor on.
yep. And we'll probably have to get you some normal body armor that you can wear when you're not in your suit as well, eventually.
Yeah.
No.
He said no.
The next thing is edges. You've already gotten some from your rolls, but you get to pick. Let's see
I
here.
didn't
Characters
add
get
any in
edges by
here.
taking hindrances. Um,
Don't remember what
from
edges
racial
I
abilities
had.
or advances once play begins. So you should get, because you took 4 points of hindrances, you get to pick 2 additional edges.
I don't remember what edges I even had.
I don't think with the rolls you got either gear type of stuff or bonuses to skill rolls. So you
Yep.
didn't get any edges. On my rolls, I did. I got some different edges. For example, being a glitter boy gives you ace as one of them.
Nice.
So again, on the right side, you should be able to see edges. So you can click on
Hang
that
on.
and
Actually it said as a Mars, I get to pick 3. I get to pick 3 edges anyway. Hang on, hold on, I'm getting down to it.
yeah. Oh yeah,
Any
that's right.
soldier, any 4 or other combatant. So how do I figure out if they're combat or leadership? Because I see veteran, seasoned, novice.
Yep.
So I got to pick 4 plus I get 2 more, so I get 6.
Yeah, hold on. Let me figure out where those are here.
Sure. So you're going to only choose from the novice because the veteran season novice comes from the advancements or levels that your character has gained. So you're coming from novice, and then the categories of combat edge, social edge, et cetera, et cetera, they're all categorized within edges.
Okay, I'll have to
Didn't
look through that here in a minute. I gotta get some water, but I'm
Yep.
still listening, Pete.
Yep. So, there are, if you go in the book and you go down to edges, you can see there's arcane backgrounds, core edges, faction edges, and there's actually one called combat edges. And there should be a leadership edges. Where is that? And isn't it in the Tomorrow Legion where the way this works is your initial stuff. Let's see here.
Yeah, so I'm in the Tomorrow Legions player guide.
Mm-hmm.
And hang on, I'm gonna scroll up.
So the one thing with this that the
characters.
book says 5s is because it's Tomorrow Legion edges, born a hero is a setting rule. Ignore rank requirements during character creation.
Okay,
so
I
see
missed
combat
that.
edges.
Mm-hmm.
I missed that detail.
Yep.
Oh boy.
And that's only for character creation. After that, you have to use it. So
Sure.
So combat edges, I see combat edges, and
yeah. And I didn't see leader though. That's my one thing. I wonder if it might be in the other book in the Suede. Yep, there's leadership in Suede and there's combat edges in
combat edges in Suede as well.
Yep. So you can, it sounds like you can pick from any of those 3 lists.
Yeah. And that's, that's what the Born a Hero is referencing there, Slash or Kintaro, is that you can, get into whatever you think Slash is into, because one thing that they ported over from Palladium Rifts to Suede Rifts is that you are the hero that you will be for the game. Obviously Savage Worlds introduces advancement, etc. But level gain in Palladium Rifts was very delicate, and so that's how they chose to bring it into Savage Worlds, is that you can choose an edge. Doesn't matter. You're born a hero. You may have an edge that you wouldn't necessarily have if you didn't meet prereqs. But as Icy said, that's only based on character generation. When we come to advancement, you're going to have to meet prereqs.
All right. Well, I'm taking improved first strike then.
Of course you are.
I mean, what would I be a good sniper if I didn't?
The funny thing is that's 1 out of your 5 edges you get.
Shut up.
Actually 6.
6?
Wait.
I get 4 right off the bat, and then because I got 4
Oh,
points from
yes.
hindrances, I get 2 more, so I get 6.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Oh, definitely taking harder to kill.
Okay.
That TPK is looking harder and harder. I like this.
No, it ain't. We're good. I think but let's come at it from a story point.
Yep.
Slash is a battle hardened mercenary. Like this, nothing that comes up to Slash is going to be his first rodeo. He is red, retired extremely dangerous.
Good movie, by the way. I like those.
It is.
Same, much. I did not see the second one, but the first one is gold.
Oh, it was awesome. The first one. Definitely going to have to take improved nerves of steel.
All right, let's back up from taking improved everything, shall we?
I mean, if you're saying that, that's fine. I'll take the regular one.
No. Let's go for it. Improved nerves of steel. I think that's fine. Like you choose who Slash is, and I will rise to the occasion.
Sounds good.
All right. While you guys continue this, I will be right back. I need to use the restroom, so keep going, and then I'll, streams open so you guys can chat with them as well.
Sure.
We'll look at some leadership edges because he wasn't just a badass mercenary. He knows how to tell some people what to do.
Yeah. I mean, that's totally reasonable. Again, you've been through the mill, so have you always been in the background or have you come to the fore in Slash's history? That's the question.
He's been a leader before
Mhm.
for a little bit for a small band of guys to make some money.
Yeah, then you definitely need to choose a leadership edge to fit that background. And maybe not a secondary like command presence. Maybe it's just command.
Yeah,
You
that's what I'm
tactician,
gonna.
master tactician. You have to choose a basic leadership.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Tactician. Do one more combat.
If I was going to choose from the Suede basic, it would probably be something like hold the line or tactician. That sounds a little bit more like Slash than
Yeah.
a full out combat guy or a full out leadership guy.
Yeah, well, I took command and I took tactician for that.
Okay, cool.
Thinking dirty fighter. That's funny.
The dirty fighter seems a little bit intense, but that also I feel like fits Slash's character.
Maybe combat reflexes though, because it recovers quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, or headshot. No. Oh, this one will be better. Dodge, improved dodge. He's hard to hit. He doesn't like to get shot, so definitely able to get out of the way of shit.
Sure.
All right, I think I got my 6. Command, hard kill, improved dodge, improved first strike, improved nerves of steel, and tactician. I think that's
Okay.
I think that sets a good presence of who he is.
Definitely, yeah. We yes. Between that and the hindrances, it's definitely a very solid image. Oh boy. I've got my work cut out for me, that's for damn sure.
All right. Give me 1 minute. I'm going to do the same thing Icy did. Go use the restroom. I'll be right back.
Sure, go ahead.
Been drinking a lot of water today.
I
We
mean, that's
actually
important.
We actually got Penn to see a trainer today, so she's
Hey,
getting her sessions coming this week quick. It's gonna be good.
fantastic.
I'll be
Yeah.
back in a minute.
Yep, go. All right, Twitch stream. I know that this isn't the most engaging, but there is a element of pride in our listeners to say that I was there from the very beginning. There's going to be, 7 of you or 4 of you or what have you that says I was there on day 1, on day 0, session 0. So, later this week or next week, it's going to kick off and it'll be a good time. I promise. You just got to hang in there. Oh man, does the mercenary still have to choose his gear? That's going to be interesting.
All right, I am back.
Hey, fantastic. Slash has just taken a second himself
All right.
to run to the restroom, but I think that the last thing he completed his choices for edges, so I think that the last thing on his list is going to be gear.
Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, we're there. We made it, right?
Yes, we did. Um,
Well, I appreciate that, John. Yeah, for sure. I think that a lot of people who jump into a let's play, or any of those sort of major channels, they miss out on the character creation and what the game system is and what it is to the listeners as well as the players. I appreciate that perspective. I think the character creation is important because it really gives everyone, from the GM all the way down to just a listener of the let's play, it gives everyone a chance to understand what this character means to the player or what this character is within the world that we're participating in as the story. So that's awesome. I'm glad you're there with me.
All right, I'm back.
all
Welcome
right.
back.
Sweet. AC's back too.
I
Yep.
am.
So I got all my edges and hindrances.
Hey, Wally.
Oh, what's good, Wally?
All right. So the next thing is gear.
I like gear.
Um, so I
I
think
like gear.
your character starts with um a couple things. One is you begin with standard starting gear, which I think it'll list that for that. Plus, you get the armor that you got, and rolling 5d6 and multiplying it by 1,000 credits will get you that. And then fives. Does he start with his trademark weapon, or does he have to buy that?
Because we're bringing Slash in from the previous campaign, he definitely starts with his trademark weapon.
All right, so where do I add gear and stuff? All right, I see weapons.
And
All right,
also,
what?
if we look at the Mars Merc Soldier, you do get to start with any one body armor, but I'll caution you here, Slash. That's I know that in the previous game we talked about how you'd carry all of these pieces, but for this game, do you want to uh I don't know. Do you want to have a footlocker stowed away? Do you want to have a stash that you maybe sometimes return to because you aren't going to carry every single thing that you choose on your character?
I
We
think
do have
it's
some limitations here.
a stash that we're able to return to.
Okay. And that's totally reasonable. for this character.
All right. So what is standard starting gear?
So for the Merc Soldier, you get any one body armor, and this is I'm going to allow this in addition to your power armor because you would have had something before the power armor, right? Before the was it terrain armor? No, Flying Titan that we went with. You have in Northern Gun -S2, so NG Sierra 2 Survival Pack,
Mm-hmm. Oh, there
and
it is.
then the credits. So that just the open book of credits that you want to buy some stuff with.
All right, hang on one second. Let me get rid of that.
And 2 eclipse for each weapon.
So hold on. Under have armor up. So you said any body armor?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So that would be what, these first one's the body armor, bronze armor, chainmail, or is it just this first one body armor?
That's you're in the fantasy armor section.
Ooh. Hold on. Over here under items and stuff, yeah. Armor. Is this what we're looking at?
Hold on, I'm getting to it.
Am I in the wrong spot?
I would go to the Rifts Tomorrow Legion player's guide and go down to body armor, and then click on the body armor from there. That brings up, I think, a better list, the list for
Yeah.
the Tomorrow Legion stuff.
Yeah, much better.
Oh. Oh, it's already up. Here.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think that for you,
And click on
you're going to be
gear.
looking at advanced medieval or advanced padded.
And then right above that picture, go up a little bit. Right above that picture, there's the icon for body armor. And then
Got it.
And then you said
we
he can
go.
pick from probably padded.
Yeah, padded or medieval. I don't know that you'd be into plate. If we consider that you've already got because there are some story implications for you having a heavy armor like advanced plate or army surplus, but the other reality is that you are also starting with power armor because of your stupid dice rolls. So it's going to be padded or medieval.
I'll probably go with the Urban Warrior Tactical.
Sure.
I think mine gave me the hold on, let me get to my character. Only thing I don't like about this one is sometimes a pain in the butt to get back to something. Where'd you go? There you are. I have the Mark II Battlefield Light EBA, which is under the classic body armor army surplus padded.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
I mean, it's actually
Alright.
worse than the advanced padded
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because it's only got 1 point of toughness.
Yep.
So
Alright. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Urban Warrior Tactical. That looks like a decent one to start with.
Yep.
At least.
looks like light armor because it's only got a minimum strength of D4. So yeah, it's 5
Mhm.
pounds lighter than the medium personal armor.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I figure you don't need something heavy since he's got the power armor, but something enough. For now anyway.
Yeah. This is the walking around armor, and if he had something heavier, he got rid of it when he got the, Flying Titan.
Exactly. It wouldn't fit inside the armor with him.
No, definitely not.
And that thing's not exactly the most spacious. It's not like it's a Rolls Royce or a Bentley of a power armor. It's more of like a Z or
No.
a Corvette of a power armor.
Yeah, no. Icy is definitely rocking the Rolls Royce of power armors.
Big smile. And then the only thing I noticed with that for you, Kintaro, is if you, for mine, I don't know why. So if, for example, I take off my Glitter Boy armor and I equip my regular armor, so it's equipped, it's not adding it to my toughness and stuff. But if you double click there, you can actually just check it and put it on. So, but it does some weird stuff because it's only supposed to add 1 toughness. So that might be something we'll have to watch as we play, because it doesn't quite add it to what it should be. So.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I don't think it's doing it with mine either.
Yep. Yep. So we'll have to. I was starting to look into figuring that one out, but I've got at least a moderate fix for it. So, and we can always that'll just be part of the automation that's not going to work perfectly. So,
Sure. There's going to be some breakage. It's not a perfect system.
Okay, so you said I need to pick a gun now?
Yeez,
Yeah.
Wait, so what all do I get?
Too much.
Close combat weapons, personal ranged weapons.
So there's the, your signature weapon that we spoke about earlier. Is that a sidearm? Is that a long gun? What is that? Maybe the bayonet is your signature weapon, the Gears of War bayonet. That image is stuck in my head, Icy. Thank you for that.
Well, yeah, I do
You're
I do
welcome.
get a vibro knife automatically. So do I just grab this little dude right here, the vibro knife?
Yep, and
Yep,
on your
and just throw
character
that in
under
my-
inventory, you actually have a weapons tab as well, so you can just drag it into your weapons tab on your character sheet under inventory.
Wow. So there's the vibro knife. So then, all right, where do I go to see what all I get?
In the Tomorrow Legion Player's Guide, under gear, the top gear under gear, there's standard starting gear, and that's kind of your starting stuff. Yep, you're right there.
All right. So NG2 survival pack. All right, so I need to pick out a sidearm. It looks like.
Yep, and you get one of those two, either an NG33 or a Wilkes 320.
Either of those is fine for any Classic Palladium fans here. Our setting will support either of those options.
I passed it.
I take that as a personal insult, John, that you took that jump star from me.
I think I'm gonna take the Wilkes 320 over the Northern.
Sure.
Well played.
Okay, so where's the NG2 survival pack? Is that adventuring gear? No.
So if
I
you
don't
if you
remember.
you can go on your right side again, under campaign. If you scroll down a little bit, there'll be items. And if you click on items and then you look at the bottom of that window, you'll see that there's a group, and then right above that is a search thing. If you put in that search NG-S2 and hit enter, it will search for that and show it in there, and you can drag that into your mundane inventory.
Got it. Good call. Alright.
Which I don't think I actually put that in my inventory.
No,
Nope.
I don't think you did.
No, I did. I got it there. Haha.
Alright, body armor. And what about ammo? Do I need to keep track of that? Is there some way to keep track of that?
Do E-clip. There's magazines for, I think, you'll have to tell me, Fives. I'm not sure about that. I took some E-clips for my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
2 E-clips or magazines for each weapon.
Yeah,
Yep.
no, we will be tracking ammunition. That will become an issue at some point here. So,
Are they long
mark those
E-clips or are
down.
they short E-clips?
I believe you start with short eclipse.
Those is what, in mundane?
It says 2 E-clips. It doesn't say short, but I'm good with a short. What's the difference between a short and a regular?
That's a detail that I skimmed over. We're gonna have to go to the rules.
So a long clip.
And you said I get a trademark weapon?
Oh, okay, so the difference is small electronic clip used to power energy weapons of pistol size. The long E-clips are power energy weapons of rifle size or bigger.
Okay.
So if it's for your pistol, then you want short E-clips.
That works.
That sound right, Fives?
Oh, yep. In traditional Palladium, there wasn't a difference, so I definitely appreciate that in Savage Worlds. And yes, Kintaro, you do get a trademark weapon. So, in the standard starting gear here, you get that rundown, but you get your trademark weapon, which I assume would be a long gun, unless it's that knife, vibro knife, bayonet, chainsaw dealio.
No, that's not going to be my trademark weapon.
Damn,
put the
here I thought I'd have it easy.
Did I put the Eclipse under weapons or mundane?
I put mine under mundane. I would guess you could put it under either, though. I don't think it's specific. I think it's just a way to kind of keep them separated for your own self. Actually, I think weapons might go into when you go to combat tab. Like my combat has my punch, my vibro knife, my Wilkes 227, and my boom gun in it. So you can go there to do, what you're doing for damage.
How do I put 2 of them there? Or you just put 2, or can you?
So when you drag one over, it'll say one of that. If you click on the one there, it's actually an editable field. So you just click on it and type 2, and it'll change it to 2.
There we go. Cool. Alright. Now it's time for a long gun. Let's see what we got. Can I take anything?
It's your
5?
trademark weapon, so you let me know what piques your interest. You cannot take anything, but let me know what piques your interest here. Triax is a no, hard no, just for setting concerns. For all of the listeners and gearheads, Triax and the NGR, New German Republic, are located in Europe. For North America, we have Northern Gun and Ishpeming as the larger arms manufacturers, along with the Coalition, which is the bastion of humanity in its traditional sense. fascist sense, shall we say. But for Europe, Triax and the NGR are essentially the European flip side of the coin for the coalition government. So, they're fighting supernatural beings, they're fighting magic, but specifically the Triax and the NGR are dealing with gargoyles in Germany. So, where the North American government has magic users in the Midwest slash East Coast, Northern East Coast, and vampires to the south in Mexico, New German Republic has Triax as their major arms manufacturer and gargoyles throughout the Black Forest in southern Europe. So we are in North America. You cannot have Triax. You can have anything Wilkes for sure, and pretty much anything Northern Gun. But again, let me know what piques your interest. I love saying no to people.
Can I get a Northern Guns 303 mini railgun?
What did you put for your strength trait? Was
Like
that
a
a
six?
D10?
Like a
Oh,
6?
6? No, you cannot. You cannot get a mini railgun.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's take this back to reality for a second. The Rock, I don't remember which movie it was, but he picked up a minigun from the top of a vehicle and fired it, and even he dealt with recoil and fired like a 12-shot burst, which from a minigun is like a 2-second burst or 1-second burst. So no. With a
Yeah,
D6 you cannot get a railgun.
dude
Uh,
is definitely not the size of the Rock.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
nah.
in fact, the mini railgun specifically says the minimum strength is D10.
Yeah. So
That's a beast.
it's really a cyborg slash juicer slash power armor weapon.
Gotcha. I
God,
think I
I
might
miss
have to go
being
with.
a player character in Rifts. Guys, juicers are my shit. And I love what they did with them in Savage Worlds. Maybe one day you'll see, Twitch listeners. Maybe one day.
You said no triax, huh?
No, no Triax. Stick to the NG or Wilkes, Northern Gun or Wilkes. Wilkes is essentially your Midwest to Western arms manufacturer. JA is Juicer Assassin laser rifle. Juicers are a specific type of super soldier in the Rifts universe. Very briefly for the listeners here, juicers are essentially the drugged up super soldiers. It's like if you took Captain America from a Marvel movie, but it wasn't a one-time transformation. He had a rig on him that was constantly pumping these serums and minerals and vitamins through his
Bane.
body and into a super soldier.
Yikes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Bane, exactly.
That's it. That's it.
So, no one-man army laser rifle then?
But no, you could potentially take that, and we could make that part of Slash's backstory, where he maybe got that from a juicer who was on last call, or maybe he beat a juicer in combat. We'd have to talk about that and make that part
Yeah,
of the
let's
backstory.
let's do that. Let's do the J12.
God damn it. Okay, cool.
Can that thing be like a sniper rifle? It's
Yes.
like range 120.
It is Juicer Assassin JA, so yes.
Okay. Yeah, we'll throw that in there.
What are we gonna do with him, Icy? Ay, ay, ay.
What
I
am I
mean,
gonna
at
do?
least
I'm gonna put him in front of me, like a little bit away, so that way I don't deafen him all the way, and then we're both gonna just beat the snot out of whatever you put in front of us.
Fabulous. I'm so excited. Ugh.
The only
Okay,
problem
so
is with my suit is if it's flying or it's underground, things get a little interesting for me.
I
Or
can
in a
fly.
building.
I can fly.
True. But like in cave systems and buildings, like there's a lot of places I don't think we're gonna take our armor. So
Yeah, we're gonna be going like, you know what? We're definitely not going in there.
I
till
mean,
I
the
blow
the
up the
glitter
building.
boy, exactly. The glitter
Yeah,
boy is
well,
essentially that dichotomy of how do I use a two-handed greatsword in a 5-foot wide dungeon tunnel?
you spin.
I blow up the wall and then
You
go down.
spin.
All right, both of you are fired. We're done.
Alright, what else? What am I looking for? What else do I need?
I think, is that your full allotment?
I'm looking. Merc Soldier. Oh, I got all my edges. Select 2 weapons of choice from close combat and/or range. I need 2 weapons, so I need to find another weapon. Do I get another
It is
weapon
just like
plus
his
my
last character.
trademark weapon?
Yeah, really.
So okay, do I get the 2 weapons plus my trademark weapon, or is my trademark weapon one of the 2 weapons?
We're gonna say that the trademark is one of your 2 weapons. Again, we are looking at what your character can carry. So
That's fine because like right now,
yeah,
it's like everything he's got, he can carry.
That question
sure.
is the epitome of his last character. I get
Yeah.
Oh
3
my god, he
weapons
had
or
so many weapons. He had
Yeah.
like 6 different weapons plus a rocket launcher.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's look up here Plated Rifts. The setting. Let's not look at the game system. The setting of Rifts has always been super gear heavy, but you already have a sidearm, you have your trademark weapon, so you get one additional primary weapon, shall we say. Um and that's, I feel like that's pretty good since you have body armor and power armor, and you're also going to have a stash that you sometimes return to.
So
So
you said I get one more weapon then?
correct. One more primary weapon. So you chose the JA. Did you do the 12, the one-man army, or did you do is it a one eye?
Yeah, I did the 12, not the
Okay.
11.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
I mean,
Of course you did. Of course you did.
they're
Okay.
about the same.
Yeah. No, no, no. It's a lore thing, but yes, they are about the same. So
Same
go ahead
thing.
and choose a northern gun or a Wilkes. Um, Probably since you chose the JA as a combo weapon, go ahead for just following Savage Worlds, as a sort of a laser rifle or a,
Yeah,
traditional.
I was looking at this Northern Guns NGL5.
Okay.
Doesn't look too bad, laser
Yeah.
rifle wise.
Yeah. If we're just running through stat lines, yeah, that one's not bad at all.
Well, you said choosing a Northern Gun, so I was looking for a laser rifle anyway.
Yeah, man.
Either that or the the Wilkes 457. You know what? I might go with the Wilkes instead since I got a Wilkes pistol. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the 457 rather than the L5.
Sure. I mean, the reality is, man, you're doing great damage. Whatever weapon you pull out, the min max here is a minimal concern. You're doing really good damage. So choose whatever looks better to you when you pull up the story piece, the
Yeah,
flavor text.
it's just gonna be he's more of a Wilkes guy. That's kind of his preferred brand.
Cool. That's like being an Oakley guy or whatever. Pick your brand, Nike
Yeah,
guy.
exactly. He's kind of a Wilkes guy.
Perfect. Perfect.
I need to get rid of that laser rifle though. How did that?
And that actually suits the setting very well. Again, for our lore heads, we are heading out west. And in traditional riffs, Wilkes is a Western arms producer. So this actually works great. That Slash transitioned from his previous history, which will come up slowly as we move through the episodes here of our game system, to where we are now, moving out west. I think that's fabulous.
All right, so I think I got all my weapons and loadout. Let's see. Then all right. Okay, so how do I do the money now? 5d6 times 1,000.
Yep, so you can roll 5d6 and then just multiply that by 1,000 and put that in under your inventory, and there's currency down in the bottom. And then I put I don't know, like put it in a dollar. I added one for universal because I think it was universal credits. I think it said so. As long as you know what it is,
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you did there.
All right.
Yeah.
Keep this up, keep that up. All right. So you said pick up the D6 and then click, 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 click. That's 5. Pow.
Yes.
So that'd be 11,000.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
All right. I'll do it like that. All right. So that's the money. And is that it? You ready to go?
I think that was. Let's see here. Hindrances, attribute, skills, drive, stats, edges, gear, and that was it.
Yeah. That's it for
So
me.
what's all right? What's iconic framework? Is that my
Iconic
Merc
framework.
Soldier?
Your iconic framework is Mars and the Mercenary. So think of it like classes. So like mine's Glitter Boy. There's the Juicer. There's the Leyline Walker. That type of stuff. So that's your iconic framework.
All right, like that. And add you to my allies.
Oh, in the main, yeah. I've left that blank because like that I know the characters are. I think that's just note taking for what you want to do. And
Yep.
then as we go through, if you look on the right side, we do have notes that, for example, Kintaro and
Okay.
me and everyone, we can add notes so that way we can keep our notes inside here of what's going on. Like, NPCs we meet or locations or anything like that.
Where did you say the notes was located? I'm sorry, I missed that when you were.
Yep. On the right side under player, the player heading, there's characters and then there's notes.
Got it.
Um,
Got it.
so we can just kind of keep those as we play.
Cool.
And then just one of the neat things is if you want to link out to stuff, like you can say, hey, or like this, you can add stuff in, like just drag your ace in, and then you can actually just click on that link there and it'll bring up whatever you want. So it's all hypertextable in essence.
Nice. That's cool.
That's the good stuff.
I have to play
Mhm.
around with that some.
Mm-hmm.
All
All right,
right.
gentlemen. We have come through a gambit here, through a gauntlet with the character creation. So we're gonna sum up real quick for our Twitch listeners and for you two here. Icy Macaw, I'd hate for you to put all this work in and not get just a sip, just a taste, one little hit of what is in store. So we have the mercenary slash potentially a legendary mercenary for all the things that he's been through and all the many things that he has done. And we have the glitter boy, to all outside appearances, a crusader for good. The glitter boy, the chrome plated 10-foot tall towering power armor, wielding a shoulder mounted railgun, this beautiful incredible piece of pre-rifts technology that harkens back to the might that North America wielded, the American Empire wielded at one point in its history, but no longer. Here 300 years after the collapse, after the apocalypse, you two are also accompanied by a shady hooded character, a magic user, a leyline walker, someone who harnesses the power of our current modern day rifts and ley lines. For those who don't know, there are mystical powers that are bound and cross the earth, crisscross the earth in ley lines that wrap around and are harnessed by our modern day magic users called leyline walkers. There are many others, shifters, rifters, take your pick. These mystical humans or otherworldly races pull on these powers and treat them as their own, sometimes in nefarious ways, sometimes for the greater good. And, honestly, Tyler, you just aren't quite sure what this Leyline Walker's goals are. But the three of you have headed south and west. You've been working together for some time. You've come from the dregs of the Tolkien War. The Tolkien War in the Northeast has been brutal, has been drawn out, has been terrible. And there has been fallout across the entirety of North America and indeed across the world as rifters and powerful magic users have created escape routes and roadways for these people who needed to leave such terrible, terrible times. You've headed south and west, the new west, hopefully to create an opportunity for yourselves and for the people who have followed along in your footsteps. Help us, save us. You are men at arms, you are mercenaries. You must know how to get through the wilds of North America, the DBs, the untamed monsters of the night. And so here you are, approaching the gates of New Mexico on your way to participate in Pride's game, on your way to take part in the lottery that could change your lives. Tyler, you fight for many things. One of the things is near and dear and young and has an entire future ahead of her. Slash, you are hoping for a better future, for the white ships, for your salvation, so that you don't have to fight anymore. For it is better to be a warrior in a garden, and even better then to be a retired warrior in a garden who made it out, who finished his fight, and who no longer has to duel and fight and breathe and wince at every sound, every creak of the stairs at the inn where he sleeps. And this Leyline Walker, you're not sure why he's with you. It could be perhaps convenience. It could be that he has nothing left to fight for. Yet here you are on your way to the valley, to the canyon, to participate in Pride's game, in that lottery that potentially could be the salvation for all, or could maybe be the biggest mistake of your lives. And that's where we'll draw tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a fantastic long stream. I appreciate all the Twitch viewers who logged in here. Icy, do you have any questions for me? Kintaro, do you have any concerns for me? I will absolutely provide notes, but what have you got here?
The only question I had is what is the Pride's game?
Well, that's a question you're going to have to find out. You've heard nothing
Okay.
but rumors.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. This game, this lottery that could potentially change your lives or be the ruin of all and the worst mistake you've ever made. Something here, we will provide another slow drip here for you to stew on until the next session. Rumors that you have heard are that winners of Pride's game, winners of this lottery, have sent money back home to their relatives. Tyler, this is what really, pulled you to it, is that you were able potentially to win this game, win this lottery, and be able to, well, living in this utopia. The winners of this game are sent off or taken off to live in this utopian fantasy world where there's no need to fight, no need to strive, no need to struggle, and you could send money back. You can make sure that the lives of the people that you left behind are better and potentially send for them. You heard a rumor that you would be able to send for the rest of your family or those that you hold dear. There's an allotment to each winner of the game, and that is your draw. For you, Slash, you would be able to, as I said, stop fighting, be able to stop fearing, be able to stop worrying. You would be able to lay down those arms, this tired old soldier, this tired mercenary of all that you have done and fought for. You would be able to finally, if you won this lottery, if you won this game, be able to relax. Do nothing but feed and breed, the end goal of any mercenary, any combatant in the world, in the sci-fi world of Rifts. Simply sit down, drink the good beer, shoot the good shots, and woo the beautiful women. But you don't know what it takes to win at Pride's game. You don't know what it takes to participate in Pride's game. You know that you have to get to the town, to Pride's Shield, to the capital of this barony in the south in New Mexico, dangerously close to the vampire legions of Mexico, of South America. But
Well,
it's
that
worth
doesn't sound
risking.
pleasant.
No, not at all. It's worth risking, and thousands of war-torn refugees have made their way to the south and to the west, down towards New Mexico, where Pride's Shield lies. A little old mining town that you hadn't even heard of until a few months ago when you were on the trails through the wilds of the Northeast making your way south. All you knew was south, and then you began to bear west as you heard about Pride's Shield and Pride's Game. More and more people began to speak of it, this name that was whispered.
Ooh, I'm
I'm
excited.
excited.
Yeah. Good. Good. Glad I could put that bug in there. It's gonna be a good time. I know I promised a lot to these Twitch listeners and to my players, but I really am so excited to be back in the world of Rifts. This is a return for me over many, many years. I've been playing in the Rifts world on and off for the last 20 years, and I am very, very excited to be back here. I think I've really got a great game for everyone. Lots of combat, lots of story, a little bit of horror, a little bit of intrigue. I think it's gonna be a good time.
Sweet.
Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
That's it. That's it. And we ran over. For anybody who is still with us, we're looking at 2 to 2.5 hours of session. Definitely some combat, definitely some RPG and intrigue. It should be a good time once we get everything set. Give us a little bit of a grace period here as we get into fantasy grounds and into savage worlds. Again, I'm an old school Rifts guy, but we've got some growth here. But give us a couple of weeks and it's gonna be, hopefully it's just gonna be some good story that you get to come along for the ride.
And then we'll be doing this the same time next Monday, correct?
Yes, I will be looking at, is it 8 p.m. Mountain Time?
Yep, 8 p.m.
Same
Mountain
time?
Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and 5 p.m. Hawaii time.
Yeah, let's make that happen. And we're looking at next Monday. Where's my calendar
One.
here?
That
On
should
the
be the
31st of
31st.
January. Yep.
I gotta pick pen up at 5:30, but I can be on the Discord listening.
Yeah, we'll make that happen.
Sounds good.
We'll have to
Cool. I
roll in our
just won't be able to roll any dice. That's all.
No worries. I won't
I
kill
can-
you, I promise.
I can roll for you.
But yeah, I gotta pick her up 5:30, and then whenever we get home, I'll be on the Discord then.
Let's do it.
Sweet.
Cool.
We'll see everybody next week, starting at the aforementioned time on Monday.
Fantastic. Later's all.
Later's all. Thanks, Fives. Thanks, Kintaro. And thanks, everybody watching. Later.
Later.